I'm going to start by reading excerpts from my lyric essay at the back of this book, because I feel like it sort of contextualizes what I'm doing a little bit. I always sort of go back and forth about whether that's important to do, but I think my work is so process heavy that maybe it helps. Okay. The essay is called Soil Soul. This is my conflict. It is one of belonging to a system of individualism up against a resistance to even wanting to hold a singular space. I have no specific desire to do or feel anything brand new and solely mine. I have no desire at all to exist as singular species in a dust climate. I wish to avoid writing myself into the poem because I have already become infected. Sorry. I systematically pull connectives out of written sentences, write nouns as verbs and verbs as questions, invent gerunds and fabulate syntax compounds as experiments in alternative sense-making. I want to exist in the state of what, in the non before sense is made. This is because the achievement of sense sustains itself as a finality. What is final cannot be re-accessed, altered, or edited. There is a motivating playfulness at work in the state of confusion, providing you are willing to not get it. Crucially, it is impossible to stand in a position of ownership over language, which at all times appears to be remodeling itself, to be just beyond total comprehension, to not have it. I do not evade writing clarity or self into the poem because I don't see a place for either, nor do I write as a conduit for a communal voice. I see exchangeable emotion itself as conduit, as voice of non-sense. In playing at ways to refigure the affective mulch, I hope to platform systems of interconnectivity and societal symbiosis. Rather than treading the familiar upward syntax of capitalism towards, say, colonizing Mars, I'd like to propose semantic modes of reformatting terror. I'm going to read Spores. Spores is kind of a work that I think is never really finished. It started off as an experiment in what I called semantic leveling. I liked this idea that you could try and create something where every word in a structure would be equal, and like what equality means in a semantic sense. And then it kind of became a Twitter bot at one point, and in the book it is represented in all of these guises and ways that I've tried to present it. It uses a lot. It uses a lot of found text from like botany journals, a lot of like digital ephemera, a lot of like what I consider to be like trash, like linguistic trash. There the genus glows. The genus there pick up the their harnesses. The harnesses glow there the lichen. There ray-finned the lichen-making lichen. There modern. There the butterflies. The butterfly droplets form the fungi ray-finned. The butterfly sediments. There drinking milking glows the fungi. Glows milky there. The genus, the fungi, the ray-finned butterfly glows there. We black convergent and we bioluminescent, we anatomical and genetically Mars-like, we widespread converging and budding and we settling black, and we hundreds, we driest, and we bioluminescent species, we species fish, we anatomically green, we fish eat green, we and fish green and eating, we budding black fish and budding widespread and we settling. Of planet they yeast of fungi, they of cretaceous rocks of solitary groups of kangaroos, they of caterpillar sacks of rocks, they rock marine butterflies, They of yeast rocks, of caterpillar sacks, of yeast, of marine. They fungi, rock yeasts, rocks. They solitary fungi, they marine fungi. They yeast fungi of marine planets. They rocks of yeast. They Cretaceous planets. Connected at stem is to resist narration where intersecting species dissection group more grouping pedagogical pillaring comate seeds account for overlap. How to pass this difference. You making food with blue-green, you with one structure, you making with water-diluted butterflies, you sun with you home, you yeast poorly, you Caninivis lake with human source, you with lace wings, you with physics, with you plant lake with physics, you blue-green with sun, you with lake physics, with you poorly blue-green sun, with you one structure. Between species, between whole, something called complex, something between colonies, between DNA wings, something fragment, something Jurassic, between proboscis, between something closely hiding inside, between fungus, something numerous, something inside selection, something whole, inside whole DNA fragments, something complex between organisms. Mass, eerie filaments, these are earth forests, these piercing, these rapid microgrooves are tiny. Are these production deserts, these desert climates, these are tortuosa, these are warmer, flexible filaments, are warmer production forests, symbiotic are these rapid, tiny tortuosa. These are tiny deserts. These production filaments are earth. These eerie tiny forests are production. Those have tunnels, have algae. Those have live, beautiful conditions, have scale, have live scale, have those algae discussing horsehair. Those beautiful processes have inconspicuous conditions. Those live discarded have live discussing, have live horsehair. Those discarded have inconspicuous scale. Have those discarded live horsehair conditions those horsehair? Systems are pre-ripening. We debate containers, develop inward, depetal border control, make not weaponry of starvation. Dish in another driven definite, in body mouth parts, other fish contained in different sister planet in other diameter, other light lichen, in cosmic mountain other caterpillar leaves, in other mutations other definite, in cosmic diameter other contained mouth parts, in light, in other body caterpillar in sister, other light in different leaves. Events pollinate into fossilized thread-winged within eponymous green dish into cycads, within surprises, within multiple clock, into bad orbit, into physical other, within eponymous physical cycads into green, within orbit dish into green pollinate, into orbit, within multiple surprises orbit, within orbit into multiple fossilized surprises, into cycads, within cycads into green events other. Study as stems, yet at their trunks the bodies are mutating. Study as though pre-written, yet enfold, investigate. Survival ability is to illustrated fish, to escape dubbed deserts is genus to ocean, to clear is orange, shows splashing to earth is ocean time, to show clear splashing fish survival is illustrated, is escape, is recognition, is survival ability. To ability survival, to clear dubbed escape is escape, to time, to orange time is to escape, is to escape recognition. To clear is to clear deserts. Our tendril age was filamentous, was our eye, our speculate, except Lotharia was tendril. Our eye age was our eye withering, was tendril evolved. Our filamentous earthly eye was our fish Lotharia. Our speculate exploded, our earthly withering tendril, except our speculate was earthly. Age was withering, our explosion, speculate our age, our fish eye was filamentous speculate. Spherical, who remained not Minteri, who frequents soil eye spots, not who argued, who pathogens slitting people, not biologists who remained, not Minteri biologists who frequent spherical, not spherical eye spots, not people slitting pathogens, not people's pathogens, who, not biologists' pathogens, not soil, who argued, remained frequent. Transcend and root, be organic film between Holocene and future, be a future, beyond the divine, zoom in instead on terror, feed the apices your thick grammar. See from shine organisms if flying dictates illustrated instances from depositing, if long gene, if plants from skin, from food producing shine, from instances, if from plant instances. See if flying dictates flying from plant instances, if plant shine long from skin organisms flying, if from shine, if long, illustrated gene dictates flying from flying from flying. Blister as hornworts, thorny community inflating, feed from the host the mineral stock unfairly hoarded. What grows from your body chemistry? Cortisol, let your body rage. Some exclusive luck mushrooms, some species scale us, mate us, diversify us. Some species, us exclusive species, some camouflage, some colony, some exclusive signatures, some mushrooms camouflage life, us, some species colony, some mate, some diversify, us mushrooms change scales, us soil signatures, some extinct, some mate, mushrooms, some scales. Metabolism of knowledge ever growing, overgrow acidic elite posturing, we basifixed on terror, we in undergrowth brambling, we plenty, we organism. Us as glowing vertebrate pigment, us glowing as moss, as us radiation genes, as echoes, as sandstone genes, us as anomaly, us as zero genes, us echoes, as us zero moss, us anomaly, as moss, as us zero echoes, as pigment, us glowing as anomaly, echoes as zero, us as moss, us as incarnation, us as filaments glowing as radiation, us genes as anomaly, sandstone, moss, us echoes, zero. Just gonna have a drink because it's really hard to get through. Both times. Wow, thanks for sticking with that. I'm going to read Dermidex, which is, I think, my favourite poem in the book, largely because it's the most recent one, and some of this stuff I wrote in 2016. So it feels a bit like a very, 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 very old friend. This is like my new girlfriend, I guess. Mm-hmm. It's an aggression in parts. First, spatializing expresses ecodermetics behind narrative clots. Gravel plasm impresses crack wear, pour diving onsward, make clear, make real. abreast of these incisors. We need no inward contortions. Instead, side rubbing stayed smooth on the catch. The climate vessels dispel spit salt, spit works machine light, an unfettering swathe which traps tip sound. Rifle breath climbing, an eventuality of extinctions conjure this quickened dialect. Abort genetic filaments. We should care because they're cute. Meanwhile, conflict skin hanging, tracing, fringe, scraping, shape, shifter, stay, faceted, sicken, chasm, and delicate witness, stay your symbiote drift. Pit your plaits against the other, tongue typical on mane. She intends on invoking the product without process, but the cables stay knotted. Stop, put in knots in the string. Left pull releases, right pull locks. Stop putting knots in the string. I don't think you feel you're hollow bionic while you're uploading your trash fuck to the discourse. Stop, put, coiling your limbs around the crash, scum filtering on dermis. We're all caphonic here, BB Quicksand. It's the act on the face that caught her attention, rather than any accountability for what she might be secreting. Solidly minuscule beyond detection, we're disintegrating incensed. Every inch furling away from us in glyphs. Maybe you're right to posit typos as endings. I've had to stop thinking of us as progress. Nothing appears to be going up, but something collects as it drags. I'm gonna do one more. Yeah? Okay. This is called Blight. Panoptic fractal observing leaked sources of light streaming, split reflecting glitters. This down here is where it is. The phrases are outrunning the grammar. To be thrust upwards at an angle denoting the original shape at access is to engage with the potentiality of a mismatched interlock, as the compounds at street level cannot help but overspill. There is no getting back to the point, not without acknowledging a contagion of parts. Press fingertips coming in at a gradient into striated tissue and wait for the mass to collapse under fascia is one way of facilitating a return. The privacy of this container oscillates its purpose to accommodate each holobiont body as water seeks its own level. This is ground, where the syntax exerts itself. The pedestrian demarcates its narrative at the intersection of hollowed out ecosystems. They, themselves, are adaptable, lichen cast over bitumen, unsignposted. The sign is a system. Everything creaking at its parentheses and where, if, unable to find a way through, coils instead into innards. I am, is, amassing a root structure in absence of unboundaried space. Thank you.